Week 12 is well and surely in the books, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
We're going to break every single detail down for you on the show. Going to give you straight cash and just trash performances of the week. Let's get straight to it.
Welcome to the Fantasyland Football Podcast.
Okay. Yes, sir.
That's right.
Welcome into the show.
What up?
I am Zach. This is Badaki.
How you doing?
And we are excited to bring you another Fantasyland Football Podcast. It is Monday, the 30th of November, and it's a beautiful day to talk to you about fantasy football. Hopefully, it was a good week for you, right?
Yeah, hopefully your team did exactly what you wanted them to do. Hopefully, I mean, that's really it. Hopefully your team won. Hopefully you won in fantasy. Hopefully you're winning. And if not, I mean, tonight's the night for you to get W's.
A lot of bombs were dropped yesterday. A lot of bombs were dropped.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about them, obviously, on the show with Cash and Trash. Hopefully you didn't need to rely on Aaron Jones. Because I really did. And it's not his fault. He's a talented running back.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Jamal Williams is going to get the touches as well.
Yeah.
And we talked about this. I'm frustrated about it. I don't want to spend too much time. I'll just get angry, and then we'll never talk about anything else. Big old RIP to all the Aaron Jones owners out there.
That's right.
It's
like
sad days. All right, guys. As you know, we just announced our signed jersey giveaway for the Devontae Adams. Shout out to our winner, Colin B. Ballin. Okay. Colin B. Ballin.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Honestly, I mean, this is just great work from Colin. All the way to do all the steps. Number one, what's funny is that we sent him a message and he sent this massive mural that he has of how big
Green
of a
Bay
Packers fan he
logo.
is.
Yeah,
which is awesome. We want winners to be fans of
pumped.
Of the jerseys that we're giving away, which is awesome. So congratulations, brother.
Yeah, congratulations, Colin. Obviously, those winners are chosen at random, and we get to go back and see if the winner did any bonus entries. And Colin did quite a few bonus entries.
Yeah.
So that obviously helped his chances with this one. We are partnered with RSA for these giveaways, and don't worry, we got another one coming soon. So no need to stress, but a big shout out to you, Colin. Congrats on the jersey.
Yep.
Let's talk about some news, Badaki.
What is going on here?
Okay. On the Week 12 start-sit advice, we had a lot of news. A lot of need-to-know news.
That's right.
And this time around, not so much. Not a lot of news to talk about, which is good, right? It's good after a Sunday. It's good.
Yeah, it's good after Sunday. That means not that many people got hurt, and if they did get hurt, it wasn't too significant for you to know. But look, really, the only two people on this list is DJ Moore and Daniel Jones. Obviously, DJ Moore playing the Minnesota Vikings. He left in a non-contact injury in the end zone in the fourth quarter. Doesn't look too good. MRI should be coming out today. We're going to get more information about him. But, man, let's have a moment. Let's just all take a moment, close our eyes, and say, Lord, Daniel Jones is a great guy.
Thank you, Daniel Jones.
He is a great quarterback. He's going to lead this team to his first playoff push.
Can't agree with this.
And we need him, okay? We need him.
Out of respect, I am agreeing.
We need him now. So whatever injury that he has on his hamstring, that you heal it right now. And we love it. We love it. Daniel Jones, obviously, it's really, really sad.
Oh, my God. It is sad, bud.
My guy,
it is, right?
He's hurt. Look, it didn't look too good. He went out. He came back in. Hamstring is not doing too well. But look, a lot of mixed reports. Mixed reports saying that it's not good. And then other reports was like, you know what? It's going to be day today. He should and could be playing next week.
Yeah,
don't
we'll
know
see.
yet.
I don't know. You obviously saw when he came back into the game and he threw that pass. That dude could not plant any weight on his leg.
No.
That's an issue. For me, that's a red flag. I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to be playing next week. As you guys probably know if you've been listening to the podcast, I am a Washington football team fan, and Badaki is a New York football Giants fan.
Had to put the jersey on because after a win, have to support the team.
That's right, and I currently can't support my team because of name changes, and I don't want to waste money on Washington football apparel. I'm hoping that Red Wolves is the name. Anyway, that's just a little bit to let you know about the teams that we support. Obviously, Badaki is sad there, and we are currently in the race for the NFC East. Who's going to be the best of the absolute worst? Who knows? It's going to be fun to see. I think the Washington football team have a little bit of an edge considering everything that's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. The easiest way to keep up with all things fantasy football is to follow us on all of our social media accounts. So on Instagram, that's Fantasyland Football, at Fantasyland Football. On Twitter, that's at Fantasyland_FB. On TikTok, all you got to do is search Fantasyland Football. You can watch the podcast on YouTube and see our beautiful faces, or you can listen on any podcast platform in the world. If you are listening on a podcast platform, if you could drop us a review, that would be extremely helpful and much appreciated. Let's talk about some cash performances of the week.
If you don't write checks, how do you pay these guys? Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash. Okay.
That's right.
We're going to tell you who popped off in Week 12, who were the cash players, the players that could not be denied, who put up the numbers, who probably either got you to the dub or destroyed your chances at a dub.
That's right.
Either way, they popped off. Badaki, start us off with our cash quarterbacks of the week.
That's right. Look, from Thanksgiving Day, the Turkey Bowl, this guy went off. Deshaun Watson, 344 yards, 4 touchdowns, 33 fantasy points. This is great if you have Deshaun Watson and you kind of sat on that after having a good, collard greens, mashed potatoes, all that good stuff. This was
potatoes, tomatoes, beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes.
Go ahead.
Beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes.
Deshaun Watson. Look, back-to-back 30-plus points games, and that's what you want. This is the Deshaun Watson we've all been waiting for all year. He hasn't been doing too well, but he's kind of picking it up now. And then obviously, Patrick Mahomes, okay? 462 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 31 fantasy points. That game was ridiculous. You already know his teammate is going to be on this cash list as well. Man.
Wow. Obviously, both of these guys.
Straight cash, homie.
Yep.
I just had a thought about Patrick Mahomes, and it's not an intelligent thought.
Okay.
I'll just throw that out there. And it probably isn't worth mentioning, but
So-
I want to see him upset. And let me explain. I want to see him angry.
Like Tom angry. When Tom gets angry, he's like...
And the only reason is because I want to call him Krabby Patty. But, again... I said this information was useless, so let's move on to our cash running backs of the week. Derek King Henry.
Oh my God, he on X Games mode.
27 carries, 178 yards, 3 touchdowns, finishing with 38.5 fantasy points. Guys, we do PPR points on this podcast.
Yeah.
So it may be different, some of these points for you, but wow. What can you say? And I'll be honest, I'm surprised it wasn't a bigger stat line because most of this came in the first half.
Yeah, this definitely came in the first half. I think they were up significant. They kind of gave up. They kind of let their defense do the rest of the work. And then, AJ Brown, he had a couple, once again, also on the list, but he took some opportunities away from him with those long touchdowns. But yeah, look.
Oh, did AJ take the opportunities away from him? I
Yeah.
can't believe that. Can't believe he didn't get these opportunities.
Yeah.
With 27 carries. He's feasting, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Antonio Gibson.
Your boy.
Oh my gosh, I just love that Antonio Gibson is on this list. From the Thanksgiving Day games,
Beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes.
had 20 carries,
That's right.
115 yards, 3 touchdowns. The first player since Randy Moss First rookie since Randy Moss to have 3 touchdowns on a Thanksgiving Day game.
Okay.
And this is the big part here, which makes me extremely happy.
Right.
5 receptions on 7 targets for 21 yards. That's massive if you own Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, that's what you wanted. Those were the targets that, J.D. McKissick was getting. And, on Thanksgiving, it was given to Antonio as, extra.
Yeah.
He got some extra pumpkin pie on the side. And that's exactly, that's exactly what he got.
He did. He finished with just under 37 fantasy points. And I guess the question is, will this continue? And I am a little bit skeptical that this continues. Obviously, he's not going to put up 36-point games, but we're more talking about the receptions. I want it to continue, but I'm not sure that it does continue. All these touches, 25 touches. If Antonio Gibson, if you could promise me he would get 25 touches a game next year, he would be a first-round draft pick.
Yeah. Look, it's hard to say. Like, I'm looking at his schedule, or I looked at his schedule, and the 2 times that he went off was against the Dallas Cowboys, who have really bad defenses. Okay.
Yeah.
Or defense, not defense. They don't have 2 defenses. They have a defense.
They just got squad A and squad B. They're like, just throw someone out there.
Yeah. So I think that's my main concern. I want to see a big game against, a 500+ team, or maybe a team that's obviously just better than the Dallas Cowboys. That's my thought process before I get really excited. But
yeah. No, I get what you're saying. As a Washington football fan, I am excited about the future of Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin.
Man, go Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry.
Okay, James Robinson continuing his amazing rookie year.
Wow.
22 carries, 128 yards, and 1 touchdown. And still staying relevant in the passing game, Vidaki, with 5 receptions for 31 yards, just under 27 fantasy points. The volume is there.
Absolutely. I think so.
And that's great.
I think the volume is there. I think I'll be more secure with him as a player long term. Like, obviously during the games we tweet out, and I think you tweeted out, is he going to be, first 5, first 8 draft pick?
Just first rounder. I mean, there's a lot of guys. It's like, will this guy be in the first round? Antonio is one of them. James Robinson is one of those guys.
Yeah.
What's their draft capital going to be next year?
I think James Robinson draft capital depends on who they draft as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Obviously, Trevor Lawrence is the biggest one. Justin Fields is the biggest one. The other guy, was it Lane? The one?
Trey Lance.
Yeah, Trey Lance. Yeah, that guy. Look, it really all depends. I like James Robinson, but I think right now for me, I'm seeing him more as a late or early second round. I'm getting him at the turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to get like I don't know. I can get a CMC and a James Robinson. I see that happening.
Right.
And if you're obviously if you're in the first round,
it's going to be hard for anyone to choose a Jaguar in the first round.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Nick Chubb has just come back from injury and gone crazy.
Yeah.
And I love seeing it. I mean, you have to love seeing it. He's got more touches than Kareem Hunt, which is beautiful if you own Nick Chubb. It's not beautiful if you own Kareem Hunt. 19 carries, 144 yards, a touchdown. And the big thing is he had 3 receptions for 32 yards, just over 26 fantasy points per game. Chubb is the RB1? Question mark on the end of that on this team?
On this team, absolutely.
I guess the question is more like, everyone's always said, oh, there's 2 RB1s on this team.
I mean,
Chubb's the RB1,
there's definitely,
right?
he's definitely RB1A and RB1A plus, and Kareem Hunt is RB1A minus.
Okay.
if that makes sense at all for you.
Yeah.
Look, Nick Chubb is definitely RB1, absolutely.
This next one's a little bit of surprise, Badaki, isn't it?
Yeah, look, he's definitely RB2. Okay, Latavius Murray. 19 carries, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns, 25.6 fantasy points. I mean, look, if you started Latavius Murray, wow. If you have Latavius Murray and you have him on your bench, you wouldn't have expected it, okay?
No.
And that's understandable. We all these touches and all these carries should have went to Alvin Kamara, and we don't. There's a thought process there. Why
Injury.
Why isn't this Alvin Kamara on this list?
I think 2 reasons.
Okay.
That injury he was dealing with this week was more serious than people thought it was. And they wanted to load manage that, I assume. Knowing that their entire game plan was running it. Oh my God, was there a more boring game you've seen this entire year than the Saints and Broncos? It was painful to watch.
Yeah.
It hurt your eyes. It was just, I hated it. I hated watching it. I hated it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think that game was an exciting game to start off with, even if Drew Lock was in, or any quarterback was in it. It's not really exciting.
I just want to see Jameis. I'm done with this Taysom experiment, and I'm sure if you own Alvin Kamara, which we're going to talk about later, you're done with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those running backs were cash. Again, guys, we're not going to be able to cover everyone on this cash and trash list. You know, we're going to cover people that we stand out, that we want to talk about. But let's talk about the wide receiver position, Badaki. Tyreek the Cheetah Hill.
Bang! Bang! It's good! Wins the game at the buzzer!
Was absolutely clutch if you started him.
It was ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, obviously, I live in Sydney, Australia, and I wake up really early for the games. And, you know, sometimes in the second half of the day games,
Not good enough.
I fall asleep. You know, I wake
Not
up at
good
3
enough.
o'clock and I want to watch all them. I woke
Let
up.
him know it's not good enough.
I slept, okay? I slept from the end of the first quarter to halftime. Tyreek already had 43 points.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
wow.
Honestly. And I own Tyreek in the pod league, in the league that we cover on this podcast.
Yeah.
And I didn't really need him to do anything at all. I had the win locked up. But I faced him in a different league, and I really need wins to make the playoffs. And
That's the
I
worst.
said to myself, you know what? Tyreek can put up a 30 bomb, and I'm okay. I'm going to be all right because I'm playing the guy who has Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. All right, Patty, be awesome if you could throw a touchdown to Kelsey, maybe Watkins, maybe some of the other guys. No, I guess what we're going to do today is just throw everything that we can to Tyreek Hill. 3 touchdowns, finishing with just under 60 fantasy points. It's a beautiful performance. You have to respect the performance.
He's definitely going to be highlighted on our Instagram. On just under 60 points. Understand that there's some fantasy teams that probably didn't even score 60 points.
Yeah.
Okay? Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was insane.
Straight cash, homie.
Okay. Will Fuller
Yeah.
from Thursday night.
Beans, creams, potatoes, tomatoes.
Oh, Thursday morning, rather. Will Fuller put up a really great game, hey?
Yeah. Obviously, Deshaun Watson and Will Fuller have a really good connection. He's clearly the wide receiver one. 6 receptions, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, 31 fantasy points.
35.1.
35.1 fantasy points to be exact.
That's right.
Look, Will Fuller, I mean, he got an extra pumpkin pie.
He's got that upside every week, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're obviously not going to have these kind of performances often, but there's always that upside. And a guy that you probably have to play most weeks,
Yeah.
right?
I think he can be the best. Ooh, not the best. He is in the top 5. Never mind. I was going to say he can be the top 5 flex position. But he's
Right.
really a mid wide receiver too.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And some weeks you're going to be happy and some weeks you won't be. This is a week that you're happy.
Absolutely. Jarvis Landry, another surprise. What?
Why?
I played against him. I think I lost in a league that I played against him.
Wait, someone actually started Jarvis Landry?
Steve started Jarvis Landry. in
What
our
the
other league.
heck? That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was the first one. I was like, okay, first touchdown, cool. Of course you get a touchdown.
Cool.
I thought he had one. I thought he had two. Sorry, but he just kept getting the receptions. He had 8 receptions,
Yeah.
143 yards, 28.3 fantasy points. If you started Jarvis Landry, kudos to you because I wouldn't have started him. I thought this was going to be an even bigger day for for Nick Chubb, which it was,
Yeah.
and Kareem Hunt, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But, if you started Jarvis, he really helped you out here this week.
Yeah, and I don't think many people can say they would. He's probably sitting on a lot of people's benches,
Yeah.
but obviously had a great game. Allen Robinson from Sunday Night Football. The Bears were absolutely trash,
He needs some milk.
but Allen Robinson had a great game.
Still
8
did
receptions. 8 receptions on 13 targets, 74 yards and 2 touchdowns, 27 fantasy points. Let's finish off this wide receiver list. The rookie, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
7 receptions for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean,
Best receiver and the best receiver on the team. I mean, who knows?
I'm not going to say anything. People get upset when I talk about him too much.
Nah.
And then A.J. Brown, which had the hilarious, I thought it was funny, the onside kick return
Yeah.
for a touchdown. He was like, there's no way I'm about to go out of bounds. Absolutely not. I'm scoring this touchdown.
He did his thing.
And he finished with just under 26 fantasy points. But walk us through the tight end position, Badaki. Not a crazy week, was it?
No, not a crazy week for the tight end position, but on Sunday night, Robert Tonyan, 5 for 67, he caught a touchdown, which made him to be the number 1 tight end this week with 17.7 fantasy points.
Yeah.
So, look, if you started Robert Tonyan, kudos to you. Wow. Once again, like these people, the top people on the list right now aren't people we wouldn't have told you to start with confidence. I mean, Robert
Definitely
Tonyan,
not
Jarvis
Robert.
Landry,
Yeah.
Latavius Murray, these guys we wouldn't have
Yeah.
told you to start at all. Like that's fantasy, really.
That is fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah. Evan Ingram as well. My New York Football Giants, 6 for 129.
Wow.
16.9 fantasy points. He did his thing as well. And they got that win out in Cleveland.
He did have that fumble, so obviously he would have probably been the high scorer. Yeah, he would have been the high scorer. But, man, the Giants just are really good at turning the ball over.
Evan
They need to
Ingram
fix
is.
that. They need to fix that. And we got a little bonus for you today from the defense position.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Out of nowhere, the Atlanta Falcons. This is real. We haven't gone to the trash list just yet. This is still the cash list.
Mm-hmm.
The Atlanta Falcons had 27 fantasy points, and they put up a touchdown, and everyone expected the Raiders to have a great game. And the Falcons were one of the best players in this game. They were the best player in this game in fantasy.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we will talk about the Raiders on the trash list, but what a huge disappointment. Everyone on this team was a must start.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, we'll talk about it. Let's honorable mentions. Okay, we're gonna take
Let's walk
you
through them quickly.
Yeah, go really fast. We got Monty with 25 points. Kenny and Drake 24 points. I think he saw the end zone twice.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler coming back really strong, being utilized in this game significantly.
Way too
23.9.
much. They forced touches to him. I'm happy if you own Austin Eckler, but if you watch the game, my goodness, can we not forget how good Justin Herbert is?
Yeah.
The game plan was so forced, and it was terrible coaching, terrible clock management. I could have coached a better game from Madden 21. Maybe that's really aggressive, and I'm sorry. I love Anthony Lynn, but that was a terribly
That's the thing.
coached
I
game.
really like Anthony Lynn. I think he's a good coach. I think he gets lost in the game too much because he's like, you know what? I remember in 85 when in this play we had in the exact same position. We can do this. I feel like he's one of those guys.
Right.
I don't know. Anyways, let's finish all this list. Kirk Cousins, 26 fantasy points. Deebo Samuel, I love personally. He went off 24 fantasy points. And then Amari Cooper on Thanksgiving.
Greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes.
That's right. He had the extra pumpkin pie slice on the side. 23 fantasy points. If you started these guys, you're buzzing for sure.
Absolutely. Well, some surprise names on the list this week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, you know the deal. Every time we give you cash, we also got to give you trash. Let's talk about it.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
He needs some milk.
All right. Let's talk about the trash performances of the week. Just trash, not good enough, expected more, disappointed.
Man.
It's not you, it's me. It's not me, it's you. Performances, you are the reason I lost. These are the guys that we're talking about, right?
Yeah, look, I'll start us off here. Number one, on the top of the list that we told everyone to stream this week because he had the best matchup, Derek Carr.
But more than anything, I want better execution. Are we clear on that? I want better execution.
That's actually real, okay? You think that was a clip that we got? No, that was actually from Sunday's game right after the loss.
We actually got a live interview with him.
Yeah.
And we're like, Coach, what do you want to say about this game? What's one thing you want the podcast to know? And John Gruden this is what he wanted everyone to know.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I want better execution. Are we clear on that? I want better execution.
Yeah, look, Derek Carr played absolutely terrible. This whole team played terrible.
Yeah.
Not even one. He didn't even break one fantasy point, okay?
No, he didn't.
I'm personally sorry for telling you to start this man. Because, wow.
Yeah, it is a wow. 0.6 fantasy points, it hurts to say. Jared Goff, not great. 3 turnovers, 3 fantasy points. Kyler Murray, this is a surprising one. Probably more surprising than Derek Carr. Maybe not more surprising, but it was pretty bad. It was a pretty bad performance.
This is a big letdown for sure. Like,
yeah.
Kyler Murray is somebody that's going to get you 20 plus points. Kyler Murray can either break or make your team. And a lot of people.
It should be a lock.
Yeah, a lot of people lost because of Kyler Murray this week, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he put up 7.9 fantasy points. Not a great outing from any of these quarterbacks.
That's pitiful. I mean, it's absolutely pitiful to perform like that.
All right, let's talk about the running backs. Clyde Edwards, Hilaire. There's a lot of running backs, a lot of big names on this list, but Clyde is going to start the list for us.
Yeah.
11 carries for 22 yards. They didn't really need Clyde.
No.
Better days are ahead for Clyde, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard. I'm not confident in having anyone on this team besides that's not a receiver.
Right.
Right? Think about it.
And Patty, obviously.
Yeah, and Patty. Are you
Patty.
Are you excited going into year 2 with Clyde? Well, actually, it could change because
I am.
Darnell Williams or Darrell Williams is going to be coming back next year. Hopefully, if COVID is all clear.
You're right. Yeah.
But are you excited getting either of those guys now?
I'll say this: he's not a first-round pick next year. I don't think.
No. Where you think he's fallen to?
I'd say maybe second or third.
Still,
because of the upside in the offense, and you'd have to assume that they're going to get him more involved. You'd have to assume that, right? I mean,
yeah,
you know what? It could be we haven't done our offseason analysis yet, but you're right. I mean, he could be a third or fourth, fifth round pick. I don't think he drops that low.
Yeah, I think I'm just comparing and thinking of.
Think about who went in the third this year. Like Todd Gurley was a third round pick.
Raheem Mostert, David Johnson. That more in the fourth, more tail end of the third, early 4.
Yeah, so there's no way he drops below the third or fourth.
Yeah, there's a lot of people sheesh. I'm trying to think, man. Yeah. Wow. Clyde, not good on the day. Let's continue here. Kareem Hunt, 10 for 62, 6.2 fantasy points. I mean, I guess this is...
It's actually a good day for him. Like, without fantasy involved, if you run the ball 10 times and you get 62 yards, that's actually a pretty good average. He just wasn't utilized that much.
No. I think this is the expectation when you think of Nick Chubb, When you think
Yeah.
of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, you think this is where Kareem Hunt could be falling every week, or he should have been falling.
Yeah.
But man, they just utilize him in the right time. Then he breaks out for runs and he gets fantasy
Yeah.
points.
I
So,
mean, 6.2 yards a carry is pretty good. 6 yards a carry, that's great. If someone could average that,
yeah,
so it's
I think
frustrating.
so. It's frustrating, and a lot of people started him, but that's unlucky. Melvin Gordon. I mean, I think here there's no.
Sorry. Just quickly, you're starting Kareem Hunt going forward, though. You're absolutely still starting him.
No, absolutely. There's no way you cannot start him. I think.
I'm just thinking of the Kareem Hunt owner who's like, oh, what do I do now? No, he is still a must start every week.
Yeah, he's still a must start. Absolutely. Melvin Gordon, 12 for 31, 3.1 fantasy points. I mean, you expect him to have more points without having a freaking quarterback to throw the ball. They're running the ball all day, and you can only get 31 yards? Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
Not
sense
good.
because no one can really throw to him. So he kind of
Yeah.
missed out on those.
We
those
said on
catches.
our live stream, we go live every Saturday, 8 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come join us
12 p.m.
and answer start sit
Australian
questions.
time.
Yeah. And we told you don't start any Denver Broncos,
Yeah,
and I hope you didn't. But
I hope so.
just wanted to throw that out there.
Alvin Kamara,
This one's hard.
1154, 6.2 fantasy points. I mean,
Not good.
no, it's not good. You started him with confidence this week. You weren't expecting this, but I think this is a one-off. Let's gear up for the playoffs.
I don't know. I'm worried if I'm an Alvin Kamara owner.
Let me ask you this: one more game, okay? You technically, Breeze should be coming off of IR after week 13.
I don't know how long Breeze is going to be out. The dude almost died 3 times. He broke like 12 bones, enough to feed an entire family. I don't know. It's just the outlook is very grim, I think.
Okay.
And I am not in full panic mode with Alvin Kamara, but Taysom Hill's when he starts at quarterback, everyone's value on this team is just terrible. It plummets so far.
In a fantasy perspective, absolutely. I think, I think so as well. I think that we just have to wait and see. I think I said this. I think I was actually wrong about that. Yeah, you're right. I was gonna say I think I said that Alvin Kamara was gonna benefit, but no, he hasn't. He hasn't been benefiting.
Hasn't at all. And I think the reality is, guys, that until Drew Brees comes back, Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, unfortunately, are not going to have a very high upside as we are used to them having. And it sucks, but this is the Taysom Hill effect. It's so boring to watch. But, I mean, there's not really much that you can do about it, can you?
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, another Las Vegas Raider. Okay? And it hurts to do this, but Josh Jacobs.
But more than anything, I want better execution. Are we clear on that? I want better execution.
And you're going to hear that maybe a couple more times. But 7 carries, 27 yards, 3 receptions, 17 yards, and 5.4 fantasy points against the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Not good enough from Josh Jacobs.
No, not at all. Josh Jacobs is the reason why I've lost in one of my fantasy leagues.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, but to be fair, if you're getting 7 carries, it's going to be hard to make an impact.
Yeah, they clearly abandoned the run game early.
Yeah.
Obviously,
had a lot to play in that.
Yeah, so that was the upsetting part.
Yep. All right. Ezekiel Elliott finishes off the trash list. You know this by now. On Thanksgiving, he was absolutely terrible, finishing with under 3 fantasy points, and he had a fumble. All these running backs, big names, but
He needs some milk.
not great performances. Let's look at the wide receivers who were trash. And this was not very fair. Okay. It's not fair to start off the trash wide receiver list this way.
Yeah.
But anytime you decide you're going to start a practice squad wide receiver who, by the way, was working in retail 2 days before he got this call. It's not a good idea.
That's terrible. That's a terrible idea.
Kendall Hinton starts the list of just trash this week. Yes, he played at quarterback, but we had a bunch of people DMing us saying, I'm going to start Kendall Hinton at wide receiver because I
Why?
can. And we said, don't do it.
That was really surprising to me. Well, throughout the whole day, the whole day we were getting all these DMs. It just really baffled me. Like, why would you actually think that he would do good? Did you think that it can be like a Taysom Hill effect, where like
Yes,
you can
that's
put
exactly what it was.
Like I just wasn't expecting it. I don't even know who Kendall Hilton is. You didn't know who Kendall Hilton was.
I don't know Kendall Hilton, but this guy Kendall Hinton was not the guy. That's for damn sure. But he completed one pass and he threw 9. So you do the math.
Was he working
this
at the
dude was
Hilton?
working at freaking Marshalls and Home Goods, and he got a call, and the receptionist answered the call, was like, Kendall from Shoes, please come to the office.
Yeah.
Kendall picks up the phone. He's like, yo, what's good? Vic Fangio's like, hey, man, we need a quarterback. You're the only guy we got left. And he's like, I quit. Walks out of Marshalls and Home Goods, rocking up to the Denver. I mean, look, it just wasn't going to work out.
No, not at all. It was absolutely terrible. If you started him, wow.
Yeah, it hurt you, obviously. Negative 2.78 points, but finish off this wide receiver list for us. It's big names and bad performances.
Yeah, big name, bad performances. Cooper Kupp, 2 for 41, 6.1 fantasy points. It was a big disappointment there, but I mean, you kind of expected it because he was playing the 49ers. So
yeah,
going against a good matchup. Tyler Boyd, 3 for 15, 4.5 fantasy points, only 5 targets. This is the side effects of not having Joe Burrow on that team.
Sucks.
It's sad. Yeah, it's sad because he was on a really good pace to do something amazing this season.
Is there a must starter in Cincinnati anywhere?
No. Gio Bernard, I think he's a must start when he comes back.
He played this week and it wasn't great.
Joe Mixon, sorry.
Okay, right.
Joe Mixon's a must start. And last but not least, Antonio Brown. I mean,
Yikes.
A lot of people started him. It was a good start, to be fair. Not a good start, but it was a decent start. He was 2 for 11, 3 targets, 3.1 fantasy points. Didn't do too well.
No, didn't do well at all. All these guys just did not live up to the hype. One of our least favorite things to talk about each week is the tight end position.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have, normally we give you a goose of the week, Padaki.
Yeah.
We normally give you a goose of the week.
Right.
But this week we are blessed, and we have the geese of the week. Because we have 2 tight ends who maybe people started and they dropped absolutely nothing, which I guess is better than Kendall Hinton if you started him. But Jonnu Smith and Jared Cook both dropped an absolute goose egg, the goose egg special.
Yeah.
I think Jared Cook is less surprising considering the game script and Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
But Jonnu Smith, that's disappointing. A lot of people would have started Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, Jonnu Smith, it was a good matchup. I think they utilized, obviously, Derrick Henry and Corey Davis a little bit more. Corey Davis specifically a little bit more in the passing game. But, yeah, Jonnu Smith, big disappointment.
Big disappointment. And the thing that's more scary than him not having any points is he didn't have a target on the day. He had no targets.
Wow.
They did not game plan Jonnu Smith at all.
I mean,
and that is very concerning.
Yeah. I think that was my concern from a long time ago. This was my concern. This was my concern with AJ Brown when I first started. Not first started. In the beginning of the year, I was like, man, Derrick Henry. First game of the season, he hit 35 plus rushes. And I think like you have 2 superstars on your team already. This third guy is really going to get lost,
Yeah.
So
it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Noah Fant, obviously the game script didn't help him. He had the only catch the entire game. And
I mean, that's a huge accomplishment from Noah.
Sure. Sure.
Hey,
Anything
you
you
did
want to
good,
say
Noah.
about that? Or
You did good, all right? I mean, you didn't have a quarterback. You caught a ball. Good job.
Yes, he did. Last I checked, he had Kendall Hinton, sales associate at Marshalls and Home Goods in the Colorado area. No, all jokes aside, obviously the game script didn't help him. But we have our last Las Vegas Raider on the list today.
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your skull?
Darren Waller, 4 receptions, 23 yards, and 6.3 fantasy points. This is not what you expect from Darren Waller.
No, just not what you expected. You expected him to get more points because of the game plan. You know, they abandoned the run. You thought that he was going to start getting more targets, and it just wasn't there. Just wasn't there at all. Once again, Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller, because I have him in a couple leagues, these guys are the reasons why I lost, because I really expected them to do or put up significant points this week for me.
It's unfortunate, but it happens.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, that is our cash and our trash list of the week. Of course, we love all these players, right? And this is never personal. It's just always about fantasy football. And if they'd had a bad week, then they had a bad week. If they had a good week, they had a good week.
Yeah.
But we want to let you know that you can support the show. You can support Badaki and I, the Fantasyland Football Podcast, if you'd like to. And Badaki, why don't you tell us what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Patreon is just a way to just show love. Like Zach said, show support. If you like what we are doing here, if you like what we're doing on YouTube, on the podcast, on all the platforms that you see, Patreon is a great way to support us, to help us continue to build this community and continue to give you great fantasy football content. Patreon.com/FantasylandFam. That's the website. Go check it out. We have 3 different tiers, 3 different ways that you can, be a part of this community and help us to continue to grow and to gear up for next year as well, because fantasy football is coming to a close, but next year is already so exciting for us.
Oh, yeah.
We're pumped.
Absolutely. Appreciate everyone in the Fantasyland fam. Let's talk about Monday Night Football.
Are you ready for some football? Are you ready for some football?
Are you ready for some football?
Oh, boy.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Big matchup.
Huge.
On Monday Night Football.
The biggest one.
Yeah, it's a massive game, that's for sure. The Seahawks at 7-3 go to visit the 3-6-1 Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a good game. I think we expect the Seahawks to obviously win, but let's talk about fantasy perspective first.
Yeah.
For the Seahawks side of the ball, you're starting everyone.
Yes. You're starting everyone. Russ, DK, Lockett, Chris Carson should be back this game. Is back, actually confirmed this game for tonight. Be excited about it. I mean, there's no way you're sitting any of these guys. There's no one else that you should be starting on this team. I think a great streamer for this game is the defense, personally, against the Eagles and Carson Wentz. That gives up a lot of fantasy points to defenses. I mean, there's not really much to discuss about this team that you really just have to start everyone.
Yeah. And you've said we both never seen eye to eye with that Seahawks defense take.
No.
I don't like the Seahawks defense. I don't want to stream them. But yeah, they've got a good schedule. I mean, we'll see. Carson Wentz could do it for them. Carson Wentz could be that guy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Eagles. Miles Sanders is back. Looked really good. He's getting a lot of touches, a lot of volume. You are obviously starting Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert is also back. Zach Ertz is not going to come off IR just yet to play this game. He won't be in this game.
No.
What do you expect from Dallas Goedert here? Do you expect a bigger game? Do you expect over 10 points, under 10 points? Seahawks are pretty good against a tight end. They're actually 7th best, but they're also not a very good defense. So
I can see him scoring a touchdown. I can see him scoring, maybe getting 5 targets and a touchdown, just getting, just over 10 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hope that doesn't happen, because I am facing him, and I need him to drop a goose egg. That
Yeah.
would be amazing. All right, now there's been some reports that have come out that Jalen Hurts has taken a lot of first-team reps this week. That would lead us to believe that we might see more of Jalen Hurts this week, and I don't think you can start Carson Wentz in this game.
No, I think this is just precautionary. I think it is getting to a point where it's either we're going to try and fight to do something, and if I think they know Carson Wentz is their guy. Okay, I think this year has
I don't know about that.
I this is what I think. I think they think Carson Wentz is their guy. Obviously, they drafted Jalen Hurts, but they're trying to push him a little bit. You know, they're trying to push him. They had Nick Foles. They pushed him. They really did all these things, and Carson Wentz was like, "I'm going to step up." They paid him, traded away Nick Foles, and I think this is just another like they're just poking him in the back. Remember, like, come on, you can be this guy. You know?
Hey, remember when you were good?
Yeah, like,
Hey, Carson, do you remember when you were good? Like, you were the MVP candidate. Remember that, bro? That'd be cool.
yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think, and I think
Really? Okay.
I think obviously I could be wrong, but they're just
Well, yeah,
testing
we
him.
could
I think,
all be wrong about anything we ever say, but
I think Jalen Hurts is actually going to come in this game if they're down significant. Then you know what, Jalen, let's get in there. Let's see what you can actually do.
yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah,
And if you're an Eagles fan, I think you would probably feel the same way. Let's just see what the guy has. What do we have to lose? What you have to lose is Carson Wentz's confidence.
yeah.
So I guess there is a lot to lose, but it's going to be a fun storyline to watch. I really want to see Jalen Hurts. I would love to see if he could be that guy in the NFL. But are you starting any wide receiver to finish off this Monday Night Football? Is there anyone on the Eagles you're starting with any confidence at all?
I'm not starting anyone here with confidence. I think no. Travis Fulgham, no. Jalen Reagor, no. Not Austin Eckler.
Yes.
Alshon Jeffrey, no. I'm not excited to start any of these guys at all.
His hair, whack. The way he looks at me, whack. Do you know that
Yeah.
line? Anyway, we should probably get that as a soundbite. That's hilarious. All right, what's your predictions for this game then?
I think the Eagles, the Seahawks are going to take this. No question.
Okay.
That's
score-wise?
Score-wise, 32-10.
Okay. Yep. I think the Seahawks are going to pretty easily win this one as well. And I'm going to go 35-21 because I think what's going to happen is similar to what happened last night on Sunday Night Football. The score did not represent what the game looked like.
Yeah.
You know,
makes sense.
like the Bears put up points, but they played terribly.
Right. I get it.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you don't know this, we already talked about the Steelers-Ravens game, and we talked about that on our Turkey Day matchups last Wednesday on the pod. So we're not going to cover that today, but we're just going to quickly talk about it. Spend maybe a couple minutes quickly. This game is happening from what we've seen, even though Mark Andrews just tested positive for COVID.
Yeah.
By the way, Mark,
well.
yeah, tons of people are testing positive. And on Sunday Night Football at halftime, they said that the NFL is doing everything they can to make this happen. And the NFL doesn't believe that there's any chance of transmission happening in this game.
Thanks, Roger.
Who did they hire? Who did they hire to make that decision? I don't believe there's any chance of transmission.
I
don't know. I feel like, come on, bro. There's definitely a chance of transmission in this game.
I think it's word of mouth. You know, I think both organizations are probably talking to each other and be like, hey, are you comfortable playing this game? And, you know, are you comfortable traveling here? Are you comfortable? You know, I think that's the biggest thing. If I'm both organizations, I'm the Ravens, out of the kindness of my heart, I'm going to call the Steelers and be like, hey, you know, are you okay playing this game? I understand the whole scenario. I think it's going to get contained. Obviously, everyone's quarantined right now. But are you okay to play this game? And I feel like the Steelers like, yeah, like if everything's okay, let's do it. I could be wrong.
I feel like you're imagining these teams in the NFL like how we would if we were all doing a connected franchise in Madden. Hey, man.
But that's what they do. That's literally what's happening. Like they're
yeah, you could be right.
They're communicating.
I feel like the NFL is really the person who's going to make this decision regardless. But
it's Roger Goodell that has to make the decision.
It's going to happen though. The game's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, look, guys. If almost the entire starting offense and most of the starting players on the Ravens have tested positive and they're still on, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And regardless of what you think about it, it's going to happen. So hopefully you've got your players ready to go. All right. Just want to let you guys know we go live on Saturdays on our YouTube page, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We go live there on YouTube to answer all your start-sit questions. It was super fun, this last one. Had tons of people there. And we actually hit 500 subscribers live on YouTube, and it was really fun to celebrate together.
Yeah.
We just love hanging out. It's a great place to hang out, to ask some questions, to be prepared for the games. It's a good time to hang out. Make sure that you head to our YouTube page, Fantasyland Football. You can find us. And hit the notification button so you don't miss when we go live next time.
Yeah, absolutely. It was actually really fun. I think we should have little milestones like that. Look, if you're listening to the podcast, and whatever platform you're listening to, I mean, go to YouTube, drop a follow. Watch us there. I think it's really fun. We kind of give a little bit more in detail and kind of go a little bit more in depth on there as well, because we kind of have more time there. We like to keep our podcast under an hour, for you guys. We want to make it.
We want to make it cozy.
Yeah,
nice and cozy.
I think it's a nice sweet spot.
Yeah. All right, guys. Do not miss our next episode, Week 13 waiver wire targets.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's getting really bare, but there are still some people to talk about.
Right? This is the last.
There's still going to be waiver wires throughout.
No, not for waiver wires, but this is the last regular fantasy football season.
Week. Yeah.
After next week after is playoffs.
It's a big week, so make sure you're riding with us all the way through. We're going to help you out. Playoffs are on the way. Did we say playoffs?
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
Yes.
Playoffs?
Nope, it's coming, whether you're ready or not.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. All love. Hopefully you have a great Monday.
Yeah.
Having a great Monday night. Hopefully whatever you need to happen tonight to secure the dub happens for you. All love from us. Have a great Monday night, and we will see you tomorrow. See you there.
Hey, yeah, you, the one listening to this podcast, you made a good decision today. Keep making those good decisions. You know what? Go ahead and do a little dance right now, like no one's watching. 'Cause you deserve it.